Hi, it is the human operating system time. So recently I shared a concept in my live videos on the union with the nature. And I received messages from our Wing Chun friends asking me if I can elaborate that more details in showing in action so that they can understand better. Since the live video is explaining in theory and so forth. So today I like to share with you on this union with nature. Okay. So as in my previous video, I asking our friends who is joining the live video. Do we know what is the meaning of yoga? Since everybody do yoga these days. Well, it turns out that in Sanskrit, yoga means union with the natural. Okay, union. So yoga means union. Union with what? Union with nature. And actually, for the Chinese, disregard if you're training Qigong or meditation in Buddhist or Taoist or Confucius or the Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine type of practice, there is a term called xiangyin. Xiangyin meaning response. Xiangyin is in Mandarin, okay? So that is union, okay? So union means like if you fall into sleep, you sleep, right? If you want to sleep, you go to the bed, you lay down and you sleep. And when you sleep, actually you are union with your body, the nature of your body. You are in the sleep state, okay? And that is also a response, like you sleep and you fall into the sleep, you get into that state, the sleeping state. So the Chinese is calling it as xiangyin, meaning response, okay? So it's a union and you need to get a response, okay? So if we are counting the sheep all night long and we did not get into the sleep, that is not responding, that's not union, because I didn't fall into the sleep and we don't get the response from the sleeping states. Okay, we are not within this, go inside the sleeping state. So yoga and the Chinese xiangyin, they are talking about the same thing. This is very important, is because disregard of any internal art or Qigong or whatever you train. Okay? As soon as people talk about getting inside, internal, one need to get the xiangyin or the union. Okay? So, for example, if one do a meditation, okay, these days mindfulness meditation is very popular. If one is just sitting down there and counting the breathing, 1 to 10, 10 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 1 for say 15 minutes, that is not union, that is not xiangyin, that is manipulative. Okay, you just try to manipulate your breathing to count 1 to 10, 10 to 1, count 1 to 10. Try to calm down, those kind of things. Those are manipulative. They are not. Those things are not different than when you cannot sleep. You just counting goats, but you cannot sleep. Okay. So the union with the natural, okay, and or the response, okay, need a process to get you in there. And Once one know the process and good at it, one will get into the natural state, or today we can call it get into the zone very quickly. Okay, so if we want to go to sleep, then we just lay down and then we go sleep. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, now until one be able to get into that state that way, to get the response or the union with the nature, one really doesn't know what it is. One really do not develop anything but manipulative. Like today's people try to manipulate their breathing, right? Say I exhale, count to 5, and then I stop my breathing, hold my breathing, count to 5, inhale, count to 5, exhale, inhale, count to 5, hold, count to 5. Those are all manipulating of the, try to manipulate the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Okay, those are different. Then you enter into the meditation state, and you get deeper and deeper, you get into samadhi. Okay, so what we need to know this. Okay, now, so how is this needed or applied in traditional Chinese martial art, such as the 1850s Xiu Tao sets, or any other internal art or Zhanzhuang? Well, if we look at the 1850 Xiu Tao sets, the first 5 stanza is actually get one to union with one body, so one enter into what I call the 2C state. Okay, it is a state, it is a zone. One enter into that, and in that zone, in the 2C state, one's body will be loose. Okay, since this is going with the sequence of the 6 core element, the body will be loose, the mind will quiet down, the breathing will be in lower ab breathing, and then the qi level or qi element, or the energy and the autonomic sympathetic system, autonomic nervous system will calm down. Okay, will quiet down, or the balance up. Okay, so when one follow the instructions of the first 5 stanza, one will get into the 2C state. Okay, so it's like, for example, get into your sleep. You just do this, and then you just fall into sleep. Okay, now, so that is how it is in the Wing Chun 1850s platform. Now, so if one follow the details of what I written on the 2C state in the Wing Chun Matrix books, and the natural resonance state of the meditation matrix books, and the basic Wing Chun art and science, one will have a body, mind, breathing energy synchronize and actually enter into the natural union states. Okay, so what happens is that, say, if I follow the instructions and I just get into the 2C state. Okay, this is the 2C state. Right away, my body is loose up, all my 7 bones loose up, my lower abs, my mind quiet down. Okay, and then my, use the qi will be balancing up. That is the state. Okay, and in this state, when you inhale, okay, since humans' spines, since in the mother's stomach before we were born, is actually moving naturally this way or this way, And then when we, after we was born, they were linked with our breathing, deep lower abs breathing. When you inhale, it's going this way. When you exhale, it's going this way. Okay? So, if you are in the 2C state, naturally, when you inhale, you actually release or loosen your anus, because it is now naturally union with your body, with your breathing. Okay? So you will get that response. And then when you exhale, you will automatically, okay, naturally doing this. Inhale, exhale. When you exhale, okay, your spine going this way. If I accelerate for you, when you inhale like this, your spine go like this. You can it change here. There's inhale. You release, you loose up your anus. When you go exhale like this, your spine change, and you are lifting your anus naturally. Okay. So when you are in the 2C state, actually doing this. So that is not about, oh, I want to lifting my anus, those stuff. It doesn't, because the entire thing, like get into the sleeping state as an analogy, it do thing by itself. Okay. And then when you practice Yulin Tao, say when you do this, you exhale. Okay, exhale. You're lifting the anus automatically, and your spine is changing to that shape. And then when you inhale, you do this, right? Or you do Tan Sao out like that. And then when you come back, it's doing that. So the anus and everything is one piece. It's exactly like sleeping. You just let it do its job. Also, this is as what usually in the West we say, let go, let it be, or let go, let God. Okay, that is union with the nature. Okay, union as in the yoga, and response, 相应 as in Chinese. Okay, so this is all what happened until one get into this state. One is actually do not experience sleeping. One is like counting the sheep all night long, but don't know what it is. You do not develop much. Okay, you do not develop this. So again, this is like sleeping. Like the baby, you feed him, you let him sleep, then it grow. Okay, that's human. And when you get to this 2C state, anybody who get into this 2C state will never anymore do whatever they do before, like clamping knee, this manipulative stuff. Or I want to line my spine, and I want to breathe. You don't do that anymore. It's like once you know how to sleep, you go to sleep, you don't counting the sheep. Okay? So, any internal art has to know this and has to be able to get into the zone, or to get into the union with the nature, or get the response. Okay? And the reason why a teacher, a Sifu, is so important is because the Sifu has to lead the student to union with the nature, or get response within one day or a few hours. For example, this 2C state, you can get response within a few hours. And if you spend about 2 weeks, then you develop it. Okay? So this is how it is in the very basic. If you want to talk about, oh, I want to have my Kundalini or the Qi and so forth, there is even more advanced. Unless one get into this state, you don't talk about those stuff. Okay? And as the force flow and everything, until one have the body, like the spine naturally, it synchronized with the breathing and mind and so forth, the 4 core elements get the natural resonance. we are just doing manipulations. So in the demo, I can demo, oh, this force come here, you push me, I can do this, do that. But how come you cannot do it in the real life dynamic? Well, because you need all the setup to run the force this way and that way. If you look at all this Chinese martial arts demonstrations, usually is the student complying with the teacher, you have to push this way and that way. But in a real life dynamic situations of fighting, of the exchange of momentum, you don't have the luxuries of sitting down there, I want to adjust this or calibrate this, or the force come from this direction. No. And at that time, you need the body which is developed under the union or have the response. You enter into the state and you just do it. Okay? So this is what I'd like to share with you today. And your entire Xu Lian Tao set, as what I said before, body conditioning, you will have the open, close, rising, sinking. And the proper mechanic, you will have the swallow, spit, floating, and then sinking. All of this is based on the response or natural resonance or the union with the natural state. Without getting inside there, all bets off. Because it's like a sport car. The transmissions has to be proper, calibrated and everything when you raise that car. Okay? So raising a well-calibrated meaning that is already inside that state of the natural resonance or the union or with the nature or response state. Now, if you try to calibrate your transmissions in the race, good luck. You're going to damage the entire thing, right? It doesn't work, okay? Now, so just to make it once for all, internal art, Qigong, meditations, Zhanzhuang and everything, if one cannot get into the union with the natural state or natural resonance state, that same name, or response state, one never get indoor. 入门, 入門 in Cantonese, meaning one have the taste of that state, the natural resonance states, okay, or the natural union with the body state, okay. This has to be this clear. It's not about philosophy. It's not about you think, I think. It's about this body, how to best use of it. So this is to share with you today.